And I just hate that when they just, of all the cuts, like why do you have to put that cut? Like why do you always say every time you watch any documentary, it's always when the guy breaks up that you know that's gonna make it. Like when they did the thing on Scott,
Hmm.
like I spoke for fucking 3 hours. I was on the fucking documentary for a minute and a half, and it was me fucking getting teary eyed. You
Because
know,
that's
that's just
that's a compelling moment.
yeah, but to me, it's so fucking carny.
What is an entertainment? I mean, you know.
I don't know, but if you like to watch people fucking cry, I
Well,
guess.
I mean, it.
I mean,
I don't think they enjoyed your misery. I think that
well, I think
they
so. I
saw
mean,
the
why, if you like that, why don't you fucking just instead of being a wedding crasher, be a funeral crasher?
because
Hang out by the hang out by the cast and go, man, they did a horrible job with him.
it's the most true representation of your feelings for you were talking about. People could talk about Scott till they're blue in the face, but when you move to where you can barely speak or you're holding it back, that there's that human moment. They wanted to show that friendship and how you were affected.
That's one thing I
It's
did
not about you.
when I did that first show after T Pass. I was determined not to fucking like break, like I wasn't gonna break down. I think I did a pretty good job. I know when it was over, I was fucking a mess, but
I've not watched it since because it
I
would
haven't.
bother me. But many people have complimented how we handled that. And
We had to do it.
we did not talk about how we were going to or what we were going. We very much just walked in and said, what's going to happen is going to happen. And
That's what we said. I remember talking to you and saying this could be 5 minutes long.
right, exactly. And I said, well, then that's fine because that's what it is then because it's going to be real. You were the one that said it. I When I talk to people about this, they always ask. A lot of people that don't know the timeline that weren't down with us at the time, they'd say, "Well, how many weeks was he off or whatever?" I said that's the story of this show, is
Yeah, he
that
passed Wednesday and we did it Saturday.
you wanted to do it Wednesday. You texted me at 5 and said I don't have a link. I said because you're not recording, Kevin. Don't worry about it. And you said I have to tell the world that this happened. I don't want someone else telling this story.
Yeah,
And I said, okay, we'll set it up. We'll do it. But that set the tone when it was like, we're
but
going to
the
do
the
this.
thing that will always piss me off was, when these people will say stuff like, "Hey, everybody knows you don't let your kid fucking go cold turkey, you dumb fuck." And it's just like my son and I had we made an agreement that we were gonna we were gonna fucking we were not gonna drink, and he talked to his girlfriend, and he was like me and pops are gonna do this, man. Like he was excited, and my doctor is an addiction doctor. My general practitioner he's an addiction specialist. He was out of town, but he said, you have Xanax, right? I'm like, yeah. You prescribed me. So he says, this is the dosage you're going to give him. So he was on benzos until we got him, like, until he was.
To step
We're,
down, you mean?
yeah,
Okay.
it was gonna be when Doc got back. He was gonna go in and we were gonna medically, set up a program. He just it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
I guess we ran out of time, but no, it was just. So I said tonight to Tamara when I was walking down here, not walking down here, but I was walking to my car to come down here, and I just I've been really I've been in a good place like for a while, and then just this week has just been one of those weeks, man, where just little small things like a stitch that was deep inside my bicep started to work its way out and festered into this fucking thing on my arm. And it just, it's what I know it's minute, but it's still, man, it's just like one of those things where, fuck, you know, like, so then my wife's hitting it with a fucking needle last night, and we're squeezing it, we're putting medicine in it. So I've got to get antibiotics called in, and then I feel another one that's kind of, I feel like the same kind of thing that in my shoulder, and it's just like, oh fuck. At 10 weeks, I'm still dealing with this shit. And, you bust your ass, but you do what you're told. But I do what I'm told, probably plus 10%, because I know my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I get so, I mean, I do basically nothing in the gym, and I come home and I'm so sore the next day, because I know one of the things is just the mind muscle link is so fucking crystal clear, because it's like you're using the minimal amount of weight you possibly can, but to still stimulate the muscle and then the movement and just just everything. So it's just everything is so fucking strict and so, and it just, and you realize when you do this, because I've put back on like 10 pounds, and you realize, God, if I fucking had the knowledge I have right now on the
Uh-huh.
body and how it functions and all these injuries and all this fucking bullshit to my shoulders, would have never happened because I would have never trained that heavy, because you don't have to. Because the only thing that can read that that's a 45-pound dumbbell is your fucking eyes.